Captain Forrest here. In today's video, I'm back with a prediction video, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts and my prediction on who I think wins more often than not in a death battle situation. I'm going to be going over Joker versus, of course, Giorno. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty and give my bullet points and my thoughts, I'm going to mention a good friend of mine. I highly suggest you check his channel out. He goes by the name of Jobbergodot. Good friend of mine, one of the best JoJo power scalers in the game. I trust him more than anyone when it comes to JoJo power scaling and any information when it comes to JoJo. Again, check out his channel, check out all his videos. He goes into a lot of detail when it comes to, Gold Experience Requiem. He goes into incredible detail about these characters, and he pretty much debunks a lot of the wank, a lot of the ratty arguments, a lot of the horrible arguments that have plagued the JoJo community. So please check out his channel. I will leave links in the description to those videos, and of course, send him some love. Now, when it comes to Joker versus Giorno, I actually made a video many years ago, going back during COVID. I actually made this matchup. I gave my thoughts and I gave the scaling, and I personally have Joker completely body slamming Giorno. It is completely one-sided. This matchup isn't close in any way, shape or form. Now, I'm gonna pretty much explain. I'm gonna give a very small summary. Again, this is just a prediction video. I'm not going to go for all my, all scans and everything. I will also link that video in the description. But anyway, this isn't a power scaling video. It's just me giving my thoughts and just giving a bit of summarize, and you're just summarizing some things. So when it comes to like Joker scaling, he's easily outerversal. Persona verse itself is outerversal. I even made a video about the palaces, how they work, it's a conceptual realm. The personas in there, even just like the fodder ones, are easily outerversal. The ones that the personas, the characters can easily defeat one shot, like those things are pretty broken. Joker himself has a lot of hacks and resistances. He has resistance to law hacks, causality manipulation, resistance to fate manipulation on a conceptual level. All these things are conceptual resistances. He also has resistance to, of course, things like death hacks and anything in those, categories, just a plethora of resistances. He has access to a lot of personas. I think it's about 16, I can't remember, but he has a fair few personas in his arsenal. But his main one, of course, Arsene, his bread and butter, his original persona. Very powerful, very dangerous. He also has many dangerous hexes that are also conceptual in nature. He can pretty much use death hacks. He can use, again, like conceptual hunger, make you hungry. He can erase you from existence on a conceptual level. Just lots of dangerous hexes and abilities in his arsenal, especially with his weaponry. The weapons in Persona are conceptual and affect you on a conceptual level, so it attacks your concept. So Joker's guns, for example, his pistols. So right there and there, really good stuff. Now, of course, the scaling for Persona, for Joker, of course, he was able to defeat Yaldabaoth with his team. They all scale to that. Again, Yaldabaoth is, outerversal. His existence is so fundamentally important. Like, he literally cannot go away. Like, humanity depends on him, and Joker was able to get rid of him and defeat him with the help of his team, of course. So they all scale to that. And just due to the realm itself and the personas themselves, conceptual beings, Joker's able to completely fodderize these outerversal beings, and the scaling's very consistent. So that's pretty much it for Joker. Now, when we look at Giorno, now again, I leave links in the description. You can check more about Giorno, but I'm going off mainly Gold Experience Requiem. I'm not going to go over every single hack because the main question is, can Joker get past the causality manipulation, the return to zero? And the answer is absolutely yes. Now, the misconception with Giorno and his causality manipulation, people get it wrong and very incorrect. They say that his return to zero is passive. It's not passive at all. The only way return to zero activates is if Gold Experience Requiem, of course, registers a threat. So if he registers like an attack that is dangerous, and of course within that speed he has to process it, then return to zero comes into effect and restarts everything, of course. Now, when it comes to Gold Experience Requiem and, Juno, easily, MFTR reaction speed, he has pretty decent speed. But of course, when we look at Joker's as well, also forgot to go over Joker's speed. He also has immeasurable speed, irrelevant speed, just due to the nature of the realm. And of course, I go into more detail about the speed in my old video, so you can check that out. So the speed, Juno's completely outclassed. Joker's way too fast, way too strong. Causality manipulation effects on a universal plus scale, just due to how it works, is able to affect the entire, universe in JoJo. And of course, the universes in JoJo, of course, they are 4D. So that ability would be like universal plus, maybe higher, but uni plus consistently. And of course, I've seen a lot of wank, a lot of downplay on Joker's behalf. I personally feel that Death Battle is going to be extremely biased against Joker, and I think they're going to have Juno win, but I'm going to be rooting for Joker regardless, because again, Return to Zero is just a wanked ability. It's very, disingenuously explained to people, and of course, people like to use no limits fallacies. Causality manipulation doesn't work on every single thing. It has to work, there's degrees to abilities. So for example, if you're fighting a outerversal being and you're using, for example, time hacks, 3-dimensional, 4th dimensional, 5th dimension, like attacks that are bound by dimensionality, weaker forms, weaker degrees of that hacks, it's not going to affect the character, and it would be a no limits fallacy to assume it would affect everyone. So the causality manipulation wouldn't even work on Joker, because Joker operates on his own causality on a higher scale than Juno's. And of course, Joker has resistance to that anyway. He has his own crazy conceptual resistances. So causality manipulation won't work in any way, shape or form. And he'd get blitzed before Return to Zero can even activate. And even if we're being generous and say it does activate, it will have no effect on Joker, just due to, again, the conceptual gap. Joker's just cosmologically more powerful, scales vastly above anything that Juno has. So personally, I think it's a speed blitz and a one-shot. Again, Joker has the range advantage. Just erase Juno just like that. Erase his stand. His stand can't do anything. I've seen a lot of ratty arguments for JoJo scaling. I've heard outerversal scaling for Juno. Not saying that the verse, for example, I know about Wonder of You, very powerful stand. I've heard arguments for outerversal. I'm totally fine with that. That's different. But speaking about Juno specifically, I've heard really badly explained and poor ratty arguments, and it's just not coherent or cohesive at all. So personally, I'm going with Joker. I think Joker one-shots, no difficulty. But anyway, that's my thoughts. That's my prediction. Personally, I think Joker's probably going to lose just due to Death Battle and the researchers. I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm being constructive criticism. They just don't understand the scaling very well, or they will downplay or apply their own bias, whereas I do not. I apply, I treat every matchup as factually as possible. My feelings aren't a part of anything of a matchup. If one of my favorite characters loses, he loses. It is what it is. It's fiction. They're not real characters, and we just keep it pushing. But yes, that's my thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. Please check those links out. All will be in the description. But let me know who you think would win in the death battle. But anyway, it's been real. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.